What's up, everybody? Doc 1985. There's levels to this. All right, man. Check this out. For the longest, I was with the same mentality that I would take lower visual fidelity for higher frame rates. I would say that if you're a PC gamer, you probably say that yourself, and you know what I mean. A lot of us don't play games on ultra. We'll play games on high or very high, or sometimes even on medium, just to make sure we get a certain level of frame rate. Now, the argument is that higher frame rates makes the gameplay better. That's kind of hard to argue against. So yes, higher frame rates does make the game feel better. However, this is something that I tested myself with Grand Theft Auto 5, and I gotta be honest with you, man. I don't know why people aren't talking about this. Higher frames not only help gameplay feel better, but it actually looks better. So the game itself actually looks better. So even though it's not specific quality settings that are being affected by a higher frame rate, the fact that it moves so smooth actually makes the game look better. Now, a game like Grand Theft Auto 5, where you're driving a lot, playing at above 60 frames, like when I'm hitting 100, 120 frames per second on 144 hertz freaking display, the cars are moving so smooth when I'm going fast through things. Just everything is just the smoothness of it. It makes the game actually look better. Now, in order for me to do that on my current PC, I have to play with everything on very high or high. I cannot have grass on ultra. I can't have water on ultra. I can't have shadows all the way. Like it's got to be high or very high. That's what I got to play if I want to play above 100 frames on my current PC. All right. This thing has an RTX 2070 in it right now. Okay. Now, the reason I found this out was because I finally beat GTA 5 and I've been playing it at pretty high settings so everything looks nice, and I've been getting above 60 frames still. But beat the game, I was bored. I was like, well, let me see what happens if I just, drop some of these settings. So I went ahead, dropped some of the settings, and the one that I really dropped was distance scaling or extended distance scaling, I think it's called, or whatever. Dropped long shadows. Shadows are horrible. Dropped reflections, and then I played the game and I was hitting and then I put everything on high or very high. Very few things are. I think Pulse FX was the only thing I had on very high, but everything was just high. Now, the game ran so much better, so much smoother, that it didn't make a difference if the texture quality wasn't high or very high, because the smoothness of the textures and the smoothness of the entire screen made a huge difference. So the problem is frames aren't always associated with visual quality, but it actually is. Think about a fighting game. A fighting game that's running above 60 frames, the smoothness of the movements, right? Everything looks better. So frames do matter for visual quality. I can admit that I was wrong. I wouldn't say I was. Can I say what else? Was I really wrong? I just didn't see it that way. I separated frames and visual quality when in reality, high frames can improve visual quality. I don't know. You tell me if I'm wrong, especially if you're a PC gamer. Well, I'm telling you, I'm excited about this generation because everybody's going to get to experience high frames, well, for the most part, depending if you got that one system. Then some games, not so much, but I'm not going to say no names. I'm going to let that system breathe. Dog 1985, there's levels to this. We out. Peace.